Hello everyone. I am Manish Sharma, your DevOps instructor. So here, this is the time to see the DevOps in action. So here we will solve a case study that will give you a business case, and we will try to solve that business case live through a demo. So the case study here is about an e-commerce website in India, an imaginary e-commerce website in India, who is preparing for their New Year sale. So the name of the case study is Nanda, the Great New Year Sale. Let us try to first understand the purpose of this case study. So Namda is an e-commerce website that is facing stiff competition in Indian e-commerce market. And if they want to survive in this stiff market, then they have to ensure the three things. First, make sure its application can take high spike of unpredictable user traffic. Sometimes what happens in e-commerce platforms are that traffic comes, sudden spike of traffic comes, then the application should be at par, should perform at par. And when the traffic goes, uh, the strategy should be in place that how to reduce the cost when nobody is using the application, how to reduce the cost of the server that are hosting those applications. The second thing that they need to make sure is that the new features can be rolled out at the lightning fast speed, because if they are slow in that, then their competitors will upload the changes, will do the changes, and they will be more agile compared to namda.co.in, and they will be left behind in this stiff competition. The third thing that they need to make sure is that new feature introduction brings zero downtime to the user. Gone are the days when we see the website is under maintenance. These days, professional websites or professional applications are made in a way, are designed in a way that it never goes down. You will never see, or very rarely, you will see a one in a million case that Facebook is down or maybe YouTube is down, right? So, how do they do that? All these things are the responsibility of DevOps engineer working in these organizations. So, through this case study, you will also understand how vital the role of DevOps engineer is, and how vital they are for the success of the business, for the success of the revenue. So here in this case study, as I mentioned, these 3 points we will try to solve for namda.co.in and try to understand how you, the DevOps engineer, can help them in this case. So now the first challenge that they have is on auto scaling. What do we mean by auto scaling? When the demand comes, their application should scale up in the sense that it should be able to host more and more users. And when the demand goes down, when the traffic goes down, they should also reduce the number of servers that are hosting those applications. Why do they need to do that? So that they can reduce the cost. So they have now, so this new year, namda.co.in is coming with new Great Indian New Year sale. This time the application will see steep spike in user traffic. And now we have two options to solve this. First is purchase the additional server, the bare metal servers, purchase them, set up your own data center, and host your application there. Second option, an innovative one, is to auto scale, means to add or remove the servers on demand. So let us try to examine both the approaches and see the pros and cons of that. So the option one is that buying the new servers. What is the benefit of that? It will help handle the spike. Yeah, obvious. But there are many disadvantages of this approach. This will take cost and time to purchase the server, get these servers delivered, and deploy these servers in the data center. All these things invoke some cost on the company, upfront cost to the company. So the second disadvantage is that after the New Year sale, when the traffic is less, uh, these additional servers might not be needed. So you purchase them, you set it up in the data center, but now you don't need it. But still, you will pay for their rent, their electricity, their cooling, and all the added costs. So as mentioned, as the last disadvantage, that the electricity, data center space rent, and cooling cost will be on the organization. So let us examine the second approach and what benefits it brings to the table. So the benefit number one is obviously yes, it will also be able to handle the additional traffic. But added advantage is that once traffic is less after the sale, the on-demand servers can be released, and there is no time or cost involved for purchase, deliver, setup. no cost for electricity, cooling, maintenance, data center rent, etc. Cons is that you need the expertise of a DevOps engineer. You, the organization would need engineers like you. So with this, I hope this gives you an idea that how vital the role of a DevOps engineer is. If you make this strategy in a good way, the business will bloom. If not, then the business will definitely fail. It won't be able uh, to be competitive enough. Okay, so here before starting the live demo, there are certain things to know, the underlying concepts. Basically, in this demo, we are going to use Amazon Web Services, that is a cloud provider, and there are certain underlying concepts related to that. One is to understand about the EC2 instance. So what do we understand by that? That it is elastic compute cloud instances. They are as good as your own machine. So basically, in short, the new machine that you uh, bring up in a cloud environment, that is called EC2 instance in AWS. Okay. The second thing is launch configuration. These configuration tells what instance to launch when auto scaling is needed. Means what are the instances that are to be launched, what are their configurations, means their hardware configurations that should be launched when you need auto scaling. And at last, you need to understand the auto scaling groups. So based on these launch configurations, you make auto scaling groups, and these auto scaling group define all the configurations related to the virtual private cloud and subnets, all the networking policies and access policies. So we will see all these things in action today. So let us now move to the live demo. So I will go to the AWS console. So here you can make your own account. It is as simple as making your own account in Gmail. So I already have that account to save the time on the class. So once I log in, what I can do is I need to go into services. So here I will go to EC2, as I mentioned, Elastic Compute Cloud. That is the instance service of AWS. So let me see what are my instances. So I already have one running instance. So these are on my experiment. You can ignore these. The thing that you need to concentrate on here is the launch configuration and auto scaling group. So let's see what launch configuration holds for us. So here in this case study or in this live demo, what we are going to solve is that we will define these configurations and we will define the policies that when your new server should come up, when the traffic is more or when the CPU utilization is more, there should be new servers that should automatically come up. Okay, why so? Because for the increased traffic, you need more servers that can host the application so that your application can still perform. It doesn't go down with increased traffic, right? So this is the thing that we are going to set up today. So the first step is to create the launch configuration. So let us create one. So here it gives all the options of all the available machines. So you see, and there are Linux instances that you can make. There are Red Hat, SUSE Linux, Ubuntu, and also even Windows Server. So it is as easy. See, you have no upfront cost. I have not paid anything yet, and I am able to get a powerful Unix machine. So I select this option, that is Amazon Machine Instance. That is a Fedora or CentOS based system. So here in this demo, we don't need a very powerful machine. Like there are many machines like that can have its own GPU that can do very high computing. But here, just for the purpose of demo, I take a lightweight machine and that is free tier eligible. So I don't have to pay any additional cost to that. So let me go to the configuration detail. Now let me give it a name. So name of this configuration, suppose I will do auto scaling test. Okay, and then comes the purchasing option. So this is something interesting. So here, if I click on this, the purchasing option comes request the spot instance. The interesting concept or the interesting model that AWS comes up with are the spot instance. Means what? They have a pool of servers that are basically like a stock price. So the price of these pool of servers increase when the demand of servers is more in the world. The price decreases when the demand is less. So Amazon has made pool of servers, and when I say that I want to acquire my machines from spot instances, this means if the demand is high, I might have to pay more cost. If the demand is low, I could get these servers in ridiculously low cost. Okay, so this is the concept of this. So it shows the current price. These are 0035 cents per hour, and here even I can fix the maximum price. Like I can say that, hey, if my application needs auto scaling, if it needs to scale up, I need more instances, but don't scale up if the price is more than $3 per hour. So this way I can restrict the costing of scaling up. So this was the brief about the spot instances. I showed you the concept. Now I will choose the hard-coded auto scaling. So I just did not choose the spot instance. The purpose of clicking on that was to make you familiarized with the concept of spot instance. That is the instance from the pool on demand, like a stock price. The price keep on changing. Okay, but it sometimes can give you servers at very low cost. So then comes the IAM role. IAM roles are nothing but identity access management roles. So for the sake of simplicity in this demo, I don't choose anything. I don't, basically IAMs are used to make the policy, the rules, who can access what. Okay. So this I will keep none for now. And monitoring. If I do that, if I click this option, it will give me all the metrics, how my production servers are performing, what is the usage, network usage, CPU usage, what are the applications that are acquiring how much CPU, what are the costly and heavy application. All those data I get, but this is a paid service, so I don't choose it for now for the sake of simplicity. Now let me go to the storage. Here it gives a very handy way to add to the storage. Like here I can give as much as I want. So for the sake of simplicity, I just keep it as 8 GB size. Okay. Then let me go to the security group, and I will keep on explaining that. So here I need to what security group means. Security groups are nothing but uh, you define the policy that it's like a firewall on your instance. Means who can access from which IP, what are the protocols that are allowed on your system to run, and what are the ports that are open. So if I add the rule here and see, then the rule that I will have to add here is on RDP. I will try this RDP, that is remote desktop protocol, and here I will give anywhere, means anybody in the world can get RDP on my server. Okay, so this I agree is quite open, but the purpose here is to show the auto scaling. So when we are in production environment or when we start the actual course, we will see how to make these things more secure. Now let me go to the last step, that is review. So in the review it tells me that, yeah, it gives a warning, but yes, I told that it is, since it is open to the world, it is not the scenario ideal to the production. But here let us stick to the purpose of demo. Okay, so this is the machine, this is the type of machine. I got one CPU with that, 1 GB memory, and 8 GB hard disk. uh, so all the details would be here. Okay, now create launch configuration at last. So I did a review. I got everything that I requested for, and create launch configuration. So here it is an authentication mechanism to use the key pairs. So I already have the key for this. When we start the actual course, we will go much into the details. For now, you can understand that I need a key to unlock my this instance, the instance that will be brought up using this auto scaling configuration, this launch configuration. Okay, so I create the launch configuration. It will take a few seconds and it is successfully generated. So it was very easy to define what to bring up once auto scaling is needed. Now the next step is to create the auto scaling group. So here also it gives an option for auto scaling group. So let's go to that and let us give a name to that. So uh, the name could be, yeah, as suggested, a test auto scaling, that is that is associated with AS test launch configuration that I just set it up for you. And here it defines the group size. So basically this means that how many servers to bring up when the traffic increases, or when the traffic or the performance of our application touches certain parameter. Okay, so these parameters also will define. But yeah, the the purpose of group size field is to tell that how many servers, how many instances are to be brought up together. So here I'll keep as 2, so that I can show you that 2 machines are coming up. This is the network by default, and these are the subnets. So let me choose the subnets. Basically what I'm doing here is to make sure that here I made 2 instances. Suppose I make here 10 instances. Okay, and then these 10 instances will be distributed among uh, these four subnets. So this will make my system more symmetrical and uh, more avert to the risk of, suppose one data center of Amazon goes down, suppose US West 2A goes down, then even my application could run on US West 2B and so on. So basically it ensures the business continuity. I won't take it 10 instances, I will take only 2 instances, and then configure the policy. So here, keep this group at its initial size. What does it mean? That I set it to, it will always be to hard limit. Okay. So this is less flexible option. The more flexible and more intelligent option is an interesting one also, is to use scaling policy to adjust the capacity of this group. So basically, everything is kind of very user friendly and self-explanatory. Basically, what it says, scale between 2 and how many instance. So minimum is 2, maximum is 4. Okay, so my application should vary 2 instance and should go up to 4 instances. If the traffic is not there, 2 instances should always be running. If traffic goes up, it should scale up to 4 instances. Okay, but it is good to set this hard limit here, upper limit here, because if somebody attacks your cloud and you don't set this upper limit, then your EC2, your Amazon bill would be quite high. So okay, let me make it like 2 to 6. Okay, then comes the scaling group size. Yeah, that is the name. Then here comes the metrics. See, this is an important thing. Basically, on what thing you want to decide that your servers are loaded, what is the parameter. So the default parameter is average CPU utilization. Like I can say that if more than 50% is the utilization of my CPU, then this is the time to scale up for a new machine, to go for a new machine. Or I can say that the application load balancer, the load balancer that is running on my application, has more than certain load, more than certain requests, then you do auto scaling. Or maybe more number of requests, more number of bytes in your network, or maybe the average network out byte. So these are certain parameters that make sense. So let us keep it as average CPU utilization. Means what? I am telling that if my CPU utilization uh, uh, exceeds from certain limit, then you do auto scaling. Okay. Then the target value is how much percent should be the one. So I take like suppose 50%. So if my CPU utilization is more than 50%, go for a new server, so that my application is always performing. Okay. Otherwise, if I don't do that, if my CPU utilization goes 100%, the additional user requests will start falling. The additional user will not get the data. They will not get the serving of the application. Okay. So disable scale in, this is an option only relevant to certain cases. What does it mean? If I click on this, then if auto scaling happens and my machines get scaled up, they won't scale down when the traffic is less. So if I click on this option, the scale down will not happen. So I don't want it yet, because if the traffic is less, I want to save the cost. I want to bring down the machines as well. So I disable this option. Now let me go to the configure notification. So these are just notification, like to whom the mail should be sent if something happens. So to keep the thing short, I will keep it as default for now. Then these are key value pairs or tags that will help you. See, in production environment, you might have many auto scaling groups. So how will you recognize these auto scaling groups? So these labels serve that purpose. So since this is just a demo, I won't go beyond what is default. Okay. Now review. Let's see what happens to our auto scaling group. Yeah, test auto scaling group size is 2. Minimum group size is 2 and maximum is 6. That's what I defined. And yeah, health check grace period, I think it is important to mention. What does it mean? It means that when I'm monitoring the applications, okay, these monitoring alarms will uh, these monitoring alarms will basically tell that what is failing, and before adding any instance to these alarms, this is the period that, okay, I just brought up the instance. Obviously that instance is not performing till the time it is coming up. So if I add it readily to the alarms, those alarms will be telling that, okay, this machine is not working, and it would basically be a false alarm. I don't want that. Okay, so I don't want any false alarm. So let's do that. Just let me do another review on, so I can even go to the previous pages here. And yeah, one important thing that I should do here, so that your demo becomes more interesting, is to scale auto scaling group using step or simple scaling. So let me make the policy more fine grained. Okay. So now here a new tab has come. It says increase group size and decrease group size. Let me try to explain what does it mean. Okay. So this defines that on what on what event in your system this upscaling should happen. So let me make an alarm for that. So now this alarm tells that okay, this is, I don't want any paid service, send notification as a paid service, I disabled it. And see, when the average of CPU utilization, disk reads, disk writes, network out, network in, any parameter that I want to select. So here I am trying to say that when CPU utilization is more than 50%, then bring up the machine. Okay. For, and this 50% for at least one consecutive period of 5 minutes. What does it mean? That at least once in the period of 5 minutes, if the CPU utilization is more than 50%, then bring up a new server. A new server keep running as they were running. So here I make it 1 minute to make our demo even faster. So what does this whole configuration means? That I am telling if my average CPU utilization is more than 50% for at least one, if I make it 2, then once it will ignore, second time in the window of 1 minute it will bring up a new machine. So let me make it very strict. So even once if in the window of 1 minute it happens, then bring up a new machine. So I created the alarm. Decrease group size says when to bring down the machine. Okay, as the name suggests. So similarly, I will make an alarm, and what it says that average CPU utilization, again the same metrics. So it is preferable that you use the same metrics everywhere. So here I use CPU utilization. So if your utilization is less than 40%, say 40%, yeah, uh, for at least once in the period of 1 minute. Utilization is less, then how much less should be the utilization at what time that these machines should be started bringing down. Okay, the AWS should start bring down these machines. So what does this alarm will ensure that you don't pay anything extra. If you don't have traffic, if you don't have CPU utilization, machines will come down automatically. So that is the magic of auto scaling. Okay, so yeah, I gave 40% and then create alarm. I don't want to send notification, create alarm. So now my alarms also are in no notification, no tag. So things look good. Let me create this auto scaling group now. Okay, and go to okay, let it get created first. And remember the website that I told you, right? So here it gives me status creating auto scaling group success. So now I have successfully created my auto scaling group. Now let me go to my instances. Let's see. So basically I told minimum 2 instances should be running for my application. Remember? So in some time it will bring up new instances. See here are now coming up. So now what I am going to do, as we defined the new machine, right? So let me do that. Let me try to do that. So in order to access these machines, suppose I access this, I use the public key. In the real course, uh, we will learn everything in detail how to access these machines. But let me make it confined to the demo. So here, okay, control set. So this is the public IP I copied. This I have to give. And remember, there was a key I mentioned, the key to access the machine. So this is the time to use that key. So this is my key. Open that, and yes, now I am able to access the machine. See how easy it is to access the machines in cloud. In a matter of few minutes, I got a powerful machine with no additional cost. I don't have to purchase the server, put upfront cost in purchasing, delivery, electricity, data center, nothing. Okay. Now here, uh, the Unix command to check the CPU utilization is top. So basically, if I check the CPU utilization currently, no application is running here in this server right now. So there is zero. Now what I'm trying to induce here is to, make CPU busy. I am going to run a process that will consume CPU to great extent. So I'll make a duplicate session and run that process here. So ec2-user is the default user, and the process that I'm going to run is this. Basically, in short, this is nothing but if you have an idea of shell scripting. If not, then yes, we will cover this in course. So basically, I'm running an infinite loop here. So if I run an infinite loop, gradually the CPU utilization will become more than 100%. The CPU will be busy, busy, busy with every loop, and gradually it will increase. The CPU utilization will be increased, and it will surpass the metrics of 50% that we set in our auto scaling group. And if that happens, the new servers, new machines should come up. Okay, enter. So 1, 2, 3, 4, it has initiated 4 process. Let's see what is going on with the CPU utilization. Do you see earlier it was 0, now they are 25, 25, 25, 25. Now my CPU usage is 100%, almost 100%, means definitely more than 50%. So now, based on our definition, the new instances should come up here. So let's wait for some time, because the grace period, there is some grace period, right? We told 300 seconds. 300 seconds is how much? I think 5 minutes. So within 5 minutes, the new machines will come up. So for that matter, for that time, I pause the recording. Once the new machines come up, I'll again resume. Okay, students. So now we see, before pausing the video, we made the CPU utilization to 100% using this infinite for loop, and that CPU utilization in fact became 100%. Same I did for the other server as well, because we had two servers. Same infinite loop I ran, and now you see, as soon as these 100% utilization metrics hit, see, there are so many machines. How many? 6 more machines, as I set in my configurations, launch configuration. 6 more machines it is trying to bring up. So here you saw the auto scaling in real time. Basically, what use case that we solved here, that if more and more traffic is coming to the website, then uh, these then your application should be able to handle that spike, and it should also be able to scale down when the traffic is less. Another magic of auto scaling group is that, if you remember, I set the minimum limit as 2. At least 2 servers should be running for me. So if I stop the servers, then automatically it will bring up new servers. So that is again the magic of auto scaling, because I told that minimum 2 servers should be there, and maximum 6 servers based on the load it should bring up, right? So that's all about the demo. How to clear these instances? It's pretty simple, because if I keep it open for now, then it will start billing. This is not my production environment, this was just a demo environment. So we will learn each and everything in more and more detail when we start the course. But this was just an interesting use case that I tried to solve, that was easy enough to understand, that was sufficient enough to visualize how important DevOps is, and whatever strategies that they make is vital for the business success. Thank you. That's all for the demo.